but we will come back to this area at the end, and I'll get back to those animals then. Conservation efforts. And if you guys look over to your right over here, you will see that we have some bison. Now some people often mistake them for buffalo, but don't be confused, they are bison in fact. Now these guys are often hunted for their nice thick fur. They also have been down in numbers due to westward expansion, which means the movement of people across the west coast. But thanks to conservation practices like here at Six Flags, we've been able to get their numbers back up to healthy amounts. Now if you guys notice, we do have some fencing around the trees. That is because some of our animals over here have true antlers. The animals such as the Roosevelt elk and the fallow deer. What that means is they have something called velvet that grows on their antlers during mating season, and when mating season's over, they're ready for them to fall off. So it's a zip process. They like to rub them on the tree. Over here, these are not ostrich, they are actually rhea. Now the rhea weighs between 40 and 50 pounds and is up to 5 feet tall. The rhea can lay up to 20 eggs, but the males are actually the ones that incubate the eggs. You can tell our males and our females apart because the males have a ring of black feathers around their neck. across. And they also lay the largest egg, between 2.5 and 3.5 pounds, which is the equivalent to about 12 regular chicken eggs. You were about to see some rhino. Now these are called the white rhinoceros. They're actually called white rhinoceros even though they're gray, for the very reason that natives were trying to tell the settlers that they were wide rhinoceros, as in their wide mouths, but they heard white instead. So now they are known as white rhinoceros. I think they're used to that.
The first one this year.
Coming up over here on your left, you guys can see that we have some elephant, African elephant. Now you can tell that these are African elephant for the fact that their ears are shaped as the continent of Africa. These guys are very large. They can weigh up to 7 tons, and they can eat up to 300 pounds of food a day. And they use about 60 pounds of water to wash all that food down. These guys have tusks made of ivory, and that is something that is the reason that they're actually hunted, because ivory is pretty popular in Africa. Now they use a matriarchal system, which means that usually the oldest elephant is the one that's line leader. Now we have all females here, and our oldest is actually Lucy. Now Lucy is usually the line leader, but sometimes when she's feeling nice, she'll let only one elephant cut her, and that elephant is Gloria. You can see we have some Asian water buffalo. Now these guys have been down in numbers due to crossbreeding by humans. So what we try to do is we try to keep the purebreds and purebreds to keep their numbers back up. Coming up. It's often wondered if the zebras are black with white stripes or white with black stripes. Well, they're actually neither. They're white with brown stripes. And speaking of their stripes are just like our fingerprints. No two stripe patterns are alike. That is how the mothers can tell their babies apart. These guys are actually great swimmers, hence their name water buck. And if you also notice, these guys are distinguished by their ring around their rear. Alright, and these large guys over here are common eland. They are the largest antelope species. These are the males of our safari. You can tell that they're males because they're the colorful ones. Only the males are the colorful peacocks, and the females are actually called peahens. Now the males have those pretty colors so they can impress the females, and the female chooses the male with the best colors and patterns. Peacocks are actually great watchdogs and very territorial. You guys see these small animals over here? These are the Zama gazelle. Now the Zama gazelle is actually a pretty endangered animal. But these guys are pretty cool for the fact that they engage in a process called pronking, which is jumping up and down on all four legs to warn if a predator is coming or if they feel dangered. And over here, if you guys look, you can see that we have some giraffe. Now the giraffes are pretty tall guys. They can be up to 18 feet tall. And their legs are around 6 feet tall. So that means when a baby is born, it has a 6-foot drop from its mother to the ground. Now it sounds pretty brutal, but don't worry, it doesn't harm the baby. It actually stimulates their first breath of air. Now these guys over here are our scimitar horned oryx. Now the scimitar horned oryx are pretty interesting for the fact that they can raise their body temperatures up to 116 degrees to be able to withstand higher temperatures. These guys are actually extinct in the wild and can only be found in places like ours.